Hi everyone and welcome to the Actually Business World. Today we're going to talk about 5 types of people that will never be rich. But before, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to our channel. Now, let's begin. Number 1. People that quit too easily. To be focused and hardworking is one thing. To persevere, however, is an entirely different thing. Perseverance is persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. It is what keeps you going when you don't get the expected result you imagined you would get at a particular period in time. As you probably guessed, people who will never become rich lack the persistence and patience it takes to see something through until that something can grant them the financial rewards they desire. Sadly, persistence is not a trait that those who will never be rich possess. They are masters at giving up, and giving up is a permanent failure. For most people, the typical journey to achieving success spans over a number of years, sometimes even decades. There are those lonely moments where no matter how much effort you put into your success journey, you seem to be spinning wheels and there is minimal, if any, movement. One thing to remember is that many people who have succeeded have endured hardships, challenges, and failures at some point in their life. They kept going because they were determined to make a difference in both their lives and those of others. Number 2. People who don't continuously learn. Unless you win the lottery, then becoming rich will require knowledge, which is why the saying, "the more you learn, the more you earn," exists. Unfortunately, the completion of high school or college spells the end of learning for the majority of people. This is because most people go to school with the sole goal of getting a degree that'll get them a job and not for the love of learning. Then, after the initial excitement of receiving a paycheck every 2 weeks pays off, they must dull the pain of their mundane job by watching countless hours of Netflix every night just to get by. There are people who will never be rich because they're too lazy to learn. They don't see the need to discover new things or research a subject. Instead, they only accept whatever information others provide. They want to know more or do more. The truth is, without continuous learning, you can't leverage the thousands of ideas or concepts that exist that could make you rich. The rich, on the other hand, understand the value of learning and continue to learn even after amassing significant wealth. Take the example of Dan Lok. This Canadian entrepreneur and multi-millionaire invested more than $500,000 a year into his education in the form of courses, coaching, and many other learning opportunities because he knows that this investment will come back to him tenfold. Number 3. People who are scared of failure. Failure is an outcome, not an end product. People who do not realize this fact will always be scared of failure. Hence, they'll never break out of their comfort zones to try new things. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Poor people see failure as an excuse not to try new experiences, even if they think that this experience may lead to a life of financial bliss. They will say that it's too risky, that no one's ever done it before, or that they aren't sure if they have the skills to succeed, but in reality, they're just scared of how they'll feel if they fail. But if you look at the people who have amassed unimaginable wealth, you'll notice a trend. A lot of the world's richest people laughed in the face of failure and pursued their ideas. Rich people see failure as a part of the process towards becoming wealthy. It is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. Because of their fear of failure, poor people constantly make excuses not to try out new things or to step out of their comfort zone. So, if you constantly find yourself giving reasons not to start that new project that you've always wanted to do because you fear that you might fail, now's a good time to reconsider your choices because it could be the next step in achieving all your wildest financial goals. Number 4. People who complain. Have you ever complained about something and magically the issue resolved itself? No, I didn't think so. Complaining is a common behavior of those who will never be rich, and this action has scientific evidence proving just how detrimental it can be. Chances are you aren't Albert Einstein to begin with, so you'll need every ounce of brain power you have to begin to build your rich lifestyle. Unfortunately, this issue only gets worse. Every time you complain, the neurons in your brain fire and your brain rewires itself to fire more often, leading you to becoming a routine complainer. People who will never become rich complain about nearly everything, from their background to their financial capabilities and eventually about the people around them. Their lives are filled with excuses which hold them back from ever achieving any financial success. Rich individuals, on the other hand, not only avoid complaining, but they practice gratitude for what they have in the moment and what they are about to receive. Therefore, instead of wasting hours of your life complaining, use this time instead to find ways that will make you rich. Complaining is a coping mechanism, and the first step in replacing an unhealthy coping mechanism with a healthy one is to identify when and why it appears. Contrary to popular belief, ridding yourself of a complaining attitude doesn't mean you're relentlessly positive and uplifting. That mindset takes time and patience to develop, and if you expect too much too soon, you'll probably end up more frustrated. Number 5. People who don't hold themselves accountable. Poor people, or people who will never become rich, are people who never learn to take responsibility for their actions. They're always blaming someone or something else for the consequences of their actions. These people were probably those kids that wouldn't study for a test and blamed the teacher when they received a failing grade. These same people are those who try to start a business, and when they can't seem to make sales, they'll blame the economy or the government for their failure when they never made an effort to market their product or sharpen their sales skills. The harsh reality of life is that if you want something, you have to be ready to go get it yourself. Don't blame someone else, your life circumstances, the government, or any other external factor for why you aren't achieving the financial successes you desire. Understand that you are in charge and it's all up to you. So, if the outcome of your choices doesn't turn out favorably, accept it as your mistake, learn, and move on from it. Don't be like the unsuccessful ones who find faults in everything else but themselves. We're humans, and we're full of imperfections. Hence, mistakes are bound to happen, but owning these mistakes is what's important. Thanks for watching. We hope you really enjoyed this video.